Hello, my friends. Today we're learning Bobe Basra Daf Nun Daled. We're going to start 4 lines down. So Shmuel is going to tell us 4 dinim. We learned that there's a din of chazaka, that if you do, we're learning mainly until now chazaka of Shaloshonim, but now we're talking about chazaka of a kinyan. That if someone does a kinyan chazaka, goda, noal, porat in a field, he's koine of the field, or he's koine of the tree. So says Shmuel that you need kavana to do it for the beneficiary of the item you're buying, and not for the beneficiary of something external. Let's see. Omar Shmuel, ahai man de posach dikla, someone who was trying to buy a palm tree, and he cut off the branches. So adata the dikla, if he did it for the beneficiary of the palm tree to get thicker, to that shouldn't be so many leaves, to take some out that should be able to become thicker and better. Koni, because he's mishabeach the palm tree, is making it better. Adata de chayusa, but if he took off the branches to feed the animals, but he didn't care about the palm tree, loy koni. So the Gemara Echidomi, how do we know, how can we tell what was his intention? Shokal my gisa, my gisa, if he took a branch over here and a branch over there, not all from the same place, adata de dikla, he did it for the beneficiary of the palm tree to become stronger and thicker. Kula michad gisa, if he took all the branches off from one side, that's not really good for the palm tree. Adata, the chayusa obviously did it for the animals, and therefore he's not koina because he didn't do a kinyan in the palm tree. That means he didn't make the palm tree better. Says Shmuel another similar din. V'oma Shmuel ayman de zoki zichya, someone who took out the branches from the field. So if he did that data the Aryeh to make the land better, then now he could plow the land easily. Koni or koina, because he made the land better. Adata the tzivi, but if he took the branches just like he should have firewood, loy koni, because he wasn't making the field any better. Echidomi, how can we tell? Shokal rav v'zutri, if he took the big branches and the small branches, adata the Aryeh, obviously he's doing it that the land should be better, that he could plow it, and therefore you're koina. Shokal rav but if he took the big ones, the shovak zutri, and he left the small branches, obviously Adat the Tzivi did it for firewood. He can't be bothered with the small pieces. But if he was caring about the field, he'd take also the small pieces away because they're also not good for the field. V'amar Shmuel, a third case that's similar. Ayman de atkil tikla, adata de arakoni, adata de beidori loikoni. Someone who made the land flat. So if he did it for the land that he could plow easier, so it's koina. If he did it to make an area where he could a threshold to press the wheat to separate it from the peel, so he's not doing it for the land, and this is a land that's meant for harisha, so he's not making the land better, he's actually making it in a way worse, so you're not koina. Echidomi, how can we tell? Shokal mulya v'shoda benitza, if he took where there's a high parts and he put it in the low parts, that means he tried making the whole field level, adata da'aretz, to make the land better for plowing. Sorry. But if mulya b'mulya, let's say there was a pile and he made that pile bigger, they should have a big level spot on the top of the pile to do the threshold, or natza v'natza, or he made the lower with the dip, he made the dip bigger, but he didn't make the whole land level. Adata the bidori, all he cares is for a threshold, and therefore it's not kinyan. V'amar Shmuel, a fourth similar din, ayman de potach maya ba'ara, if he let in water into the field. Adata the Aryeh, if he did it to water for irrigation, koni, because he's making the field better. Adata the covery, if you just wanted to catch fish, loy koni. Echidomi, how do we know the difference? Potach drei bovi, if you open 2 entrances, chad ma'ayil, one at the top of the field where the water comes in, v'chad mapik, and one at the bottom where the water comes out. Adata the covery, all he cares is that the water should come through his field, and he should put traps in his field for the fish, and he should catch a fish, and doesn't care about the water. Therefore, there's no chazaka. But if chad bova, if you only opened at the top that the water should come in, but he doesn't want the water to leave, you want the water to sink into the field, it's for irrigation, and therefore adata the Aryeh, and therefore it's a good chazaka. So the Gemara, saw this woman, the ochla dikla, she ate a palm tree betaf shicha, like we said at the top, that she did it for the animals. She took it all on one side. She wasn't taking the branches a bit here. She was taking it all from the same side. Kleis Hashonim, she was 13 years doing this. Also came this other person, the Bachsgur Gavra, this person, Rofik to take part. He dug the ground underneath the palm tree. That's good for the palm tree to expose the earth underneath it. It's like Harisha. And he said that now it belongs to me. and probably 13 years ago was Hefka. Also, like Kamei de Levi, this case came in front of Levi, Vermilo Kamei de Marukva, and some people said it was in front of an Ukma, or Marukva, Ukma Biode. He gave it to the person, not to the woman who was there for 13 years. Osoi, she came, Kotsovcho Kamei, she shouted to him. Omalo, so he told her, My Ovidloch, what can I do? Deloi she didn't do a proper chazaka. Chazaka is to make the item that you bought or you coined from Africa better. You didn't make it better. You just took all the branches from one side, and therefore you never did a kinyan. Omar Rav, atzar tura benichse arger kono. If someone makes like a picture of, let's say, a fish or a bird in the nichse ager, it's a kinyan. And how do we know this? The Rav loikoni leginse de beirabi ele beturosa. There was a little garden, and there was a garden next to the Beis Medrash of Rav that belonged to a ger who passed away and had no Yerushim. And the way Rav was koine it by drawing a drawing like a bird or something inside, and that was koine. So from there we know that doing a drawing is koine. And we said early on that we need to make a drawing in a certain size, Ammon, the size of Ammon, in front of the entrance. That was when it's stammer drawing. But here, when you're making a tzura, a shape of an animal, it's even smaller is good enough. That's what the Rashbam says. Itma, we learn soda musuyemes b'mitzirea soda that's very clear. Its borders, it has clear borders. Omar of Hunomarav, Kevan she'ikosh b'makush echod, since he dug in one point, one little digging that's beneficiary for the land, kono kula, you're koina the whole field. V'shmuel Omar loy kono ele mokom makusha bevad, you're not koina only the place where you dug. To be koina the whole field, you need to dig in the whole field, or water the whole field. It's not enough to do it in one corner to be koina the whole field. And it's talking about, the Rashbam explains, where you're koine from a ger from Hefka, because if it's someone who's makna to you, everyone agrees, even if it's 10 fields that are not connected one to each other, you do a kinyan in one spot and you koine the whole 10 fields. But here, when you're koine from Hefka, it has a different din. Says the Gemara on Daled Amud Beis, v'she'ena mesuyem b'mitzorah. So if there's no clear borders, so what's the din over there? So the fish moil, for sure, you need to dig the whole field, you need to water the whole field. It's not enough one corner. Even more so because there's no clear borders. Ad Kamos, says the Gemara, Lefi Rav, who said that it's enough in one point to be koine the whole field, but if there's no borders, what to do? Omar Papa ket ozil taira deshuriv oda. You need to go with the plow all across one side of the field and go back to make 2 lines of a plow, and then you're koine the whole field. It's not enough to do in one corner, like we said, by a field that has clear borders. Omar Rabbi Yehuda Omar Shmuel, nichsebet kechovim maren kemidbo kol hamachzik bohem zocha bohen. Ma'itay mo'evet kechovim michimatu zuzi liyode estalek le'Yisrael lo ikoni ademot eshtor liyode. Hilkoch aren kemidbo v'chol hamachzik bohem zocha bohem. So Shmuel, Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Shmuel, a big chiddush, John, Ovid Kechovim, who sold to Reuven a field, and Reuven paid the money for it, but he never got yet a shtar, and it only becomes Reuven when a shtar comes to his hand. So when he gave, says Shmuel, that when Reuven gave over the money to John, John in his halachas of the goyim, straight when he gets the money, he's not involved with the field anymore. So this field becomes like midbar, like the desert, like Hefka, and anyone could be zoicha. So if before Reuven got the shtar from John, Shimon went and did a kinyan chazaka in the field, it belongs to Shimon. That's a chiddush of Shmuel. Omar le'abayla Rav Yosef. Rabbi asked Rav Yosef, "Mi Omar Shmuel? Ochi, did Shmuel say so?" Omar Shmuel said another din. Dina de malchusa dina. Wherever the kingdom paskins, wherever the law is, that's the law. Umalka Oman, the law is loy likni ara. The only way a karkas be nikna ela beigarta, only with a shtar. So therefore, since that's a dinner de malchus, so when Reuben gave money to John, that's the John is not gone yet. Only when John gives him a shtar. So when John gives him a shtar, it becomes Reuven's. Shimon can't be koiner it. Amalei. So Rabbi Yosef answered to Abaye, "Ano lo yadana." I don't know about this dinner de malchus dinner. And Rashbam explains that it means he doesn't really think it's shver, but he tried like to push him away. Rabbi Yosef trying to tell Abaye, "I know physically a story that happened, and it proves like the din of Shmuel." Uvdeava, there was a story, Bedura Derusa, in a shepherd's village, the Beisrael, the Zovan Aramovit Gechovim, there was a Jew who bought a land from the Goy. Also, Israel Achrinan came another Jew, let's say Shimon, Rafik Bepurti, he dug a little bit in the land before the first one got a star. Also, the Kameder of Yudah, this case came in front of Yudah. Ukma b'yodah, the Sheni gave it to the second one, not to the first one. So that's a proof to the din of Shmuel, of the din of Kechavim who sold, and then someone else did the Chazaka first. So he's koina. I don't know about you asking me about din of the Malchus Adina. So Omalei, so Abaye told Rav Yosef, Dura Uta Komar, you bringing me a raya from the shepherd's village over there? Hossam Bagi was a bika, how do you say, a valley. The mitamri have it that they would hide. They were not paying the taxes. The inu gufayu, the sellers themselves, John who was selling over there, lo yavi tax lemalka. They were never paying the land tax to the king. Umalka man, the king said, man diov tax the one who pays the taxes, he's the one who gets the land to have it. So therefore the John who sold it, who wasn't paying the taxes to the king, he wasn't the Bailim Bechal to sell it to Reuben. And therefore when he sold it to Reuben and Shimon went and did the Kinyan first, and he's giving the taxes to the king, obviously reviewed the Paskin to give it to Shimon. But in the case where John who was selling it was his land totally, nothing to do with the taxes of the king, that he got it from Yerusha from his father. So if he sold it to Reuben, it's Reuben's. You can't. Then Shimon can't be zoiche. In that case, where Shimon was zoiche, because it wasn't bichlal the sellers; it was whoever gives the taxes. And Shimon did the kinyan first and gives the taxes. He's good. You can't bring me a raya from there. So the Gemara doesn't continue about this. The Gemara continues the same ideas, but the Gemara doesn't continue between Abai and Rav Yosef. Said the Gemara of Huna, Zovan Ara Moavid Kechavim. He bought the land from a goy. Osi Yisrael Acher came another Jew. Rafik Bapurte dug a little bit. Also, came out of Rav Nachman and came in front of Rav Nachman over and said, I paid for it. This other Jew said, I dug in it first. Rav Nachman Paskin that you go to this other Jew, not to Rav Huna. Omalei, so Rav Huna told Rav Nachman, my daitoch, why are you doing this? Doma Shmuel, because Shmuel said, Nichsev Kechavim, what we learned before, Rein Kemidbo, they're like a desert, we call a machzik bo in zocho. Anyone whose machzik is zoicha. Okay, very good, you Paskin like that. Says the Gemara Nun Heomud Aleph, Li'eved Limar Keidoch to Shmuel. If you're Paskin like Shmuel, Paskin like all what Shmuel said, what the other thing that Shmuel said, we had it early on Undaladom and base. If you do a kinyan, if you dug a little bit, you're not coining the whole field, you only coin it where you dug. So I said Rav Huna to Rav Nachman, if you Paskin like Shmuel, that when I bought off the goy and he did a kinyan, he's coiner, but he should only be coining that little place where he dug, and the rest of the field I should get because I have a star. Omalei, Bahai, Legabe this thing. Very good. I paskin like Shmuel about Nichse if you buy from a goy and someone else does a chazaka that he's koina. But this other psak of Shmuel, though we had the machlokes Rav Shmuel, says Rav Nachman to Rav Huna, Bahai, the Legabe that anok kishmeitach svirle. I hold like what you said yourself, Rav Huna, the Omar Rav Huna, you yourself said Omar Rav in the name of Rav. Kevin Chinikabo Maku Shechot, since he did one dig into the ground, Konakula is koina the whole thing, and in that din I paskin like Rav, not like Shmuel. And therefore, this person, you bought very good, you bought off the goy, but this other Jew did the makush echod, and over there, paskin like Rav, you coin the whole field, and therefore I'm giving it to this other Jew, not to you, and you lose your whole field. Should be zoichet to remember these Gemara, to understand the halacha and be mikayim, and learn it again. Thank you.